Welcome, everyone. This is the weekly meeting of the Phrancko Sweater Knitters. And we invite you to join us anytime you like. And it's a great place to ask questions about Phrancko sweater pattern if you're interested in knitting one, or just come and share your work with us. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Serena.
Hello.
Hi, Judith.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Sunny.
Hi.
Hi, Mary.
Hello.
Hi, Wally.
Hi, how we doing?
Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Joellen.
Hey, hey.
Hi, Will.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Frank.
And Sidra's just arriving. Hi, Sidra.
Oh,
Eating.
You made it.
I did.
Only Jenny's missing. And Ron and Rana.
Mm. Wow.
Kathy, that looks great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
So this is the test knit, Frank.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, wow.
This
I
is
can't
a
see that.
Phrancko?
Hold on. Oh, there we go.
That's the
This is the
Phrancko
yoke.
yoke.
Oh,
Oh,
look at that. Oh, that's
it
gorgeous.
looks perfect.
Wow.
And I
That is
wasn't sure
fantastic.
here. You see, but I think it works fine.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Once I got it on.
Wow.
Anyway, I'm really
Beautiful.
happy with it.
It's
Great.
beautiful.
I did
It's
something
gorgeous.
different.
Mm.
So
Sorry, what's different?
well, in the pattern, I really like the row by row because in something like this where, you know, you need to divide for the sleeve in a certain spot,
Uh-huh.
you could pick where to go and how to rework the instructions a little bit,
Right.
because my shoulder cap started with like 34 stitches instead of 30. But because it's a bell curve and I just kept the bell
Yes.
shape and
Okay.
took out
Okay.
two increases on the sleeve cap. That
Okay.
worked fine. I mean, it worked fine.
Okay.
But I wanted to see how a big yoke would work.
Mhm.
And you'd have to be kind of a big person, which I am, to do a yoke like this, but you could do something smaller.
gorgeous.
Yeah, but the
It's
design
gorgeous.
is gorgeous. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes, the colors, the
Yeah.
design.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank
And you have your neck, you have your collar on as well.
Yeah, I'm not
top band?
crazy about how I did the collar. I might redo it. You can see it looks a little lumpy right there.
No, I don't. You do.
Maybe
You're
blocking.
got a
I
closer
don't
critical
see it.
eye there.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Anyway,
Looks lovely.
Wow.
yes, so it really worked out. Oh, so Frank, the other thing I didn't do was
Mhm.
you had decreases in the front while you were increasing on the sleeve cap. Because I wanted to keep the yoke, pretty symmetric as far as possible. I didn't do that.
Did you do the decreases on the back and not the front, or neither?
Either. I didn't need them either. It looks
Oh.
fine.
Huh.
Yeah.
Ah, wow.
Yeah. So I'm really happy with it.
Oh,
And I
good.
just thought, well, I measured everything out and I thought that I didn't really need those decreases, which turns out I didn't need. So
There are more decreases as you go down the body, because that curve that is still existing in the yoke is longer than straight across your body.
that's true.
So the decreases are to
Right here.
adjust, yeah, to change that curve into a straight line
As you go down.
as you go down.
Okay. I'll look at that. I haven't gotten that far.
Yeah.
I wonder if though it works well because since women have busts, that you have a little bit more to cover over and then begin like a short row or a decrease or something after
Yes.
that.
That was
Yes.
my thought exactly. I thought if I was flatter chested, that I would have needed those decreases,
Mm.
Right.
but it's as it is. Days.
That
Mhm.
comes under the heading of Frank doesn't do body shaping for women.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So you're on your own to figure out how to modify my patterns to fit your body.
Mm.
But
I,
I've never been able to wear yoke sweaters, and I think this fits really, really well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Gorgeous.
astounding to hear. Really?
Yeah, very nice.
yeah.
Yeah, they're usually way too tight right in here.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, they just don't fit right. But yeah, and I think
Wow.
with the coloring like this, I mean, you
Mhm.
can't even see the sleeve
Right,
shaping.
right, right.
No, you can't
No.
at all.
Anyway,
It's like magic.
Yeah.
very happy with
And
it.
and
Now,
that's a
let me
design
ask-
that you designed yourself, right? That was a design that you made.
Yes.
The
Mhm.
leaves and stuff.
Yeah, the leaves, yeah. I don't like this either, though. I might duplicate stitch over it with a darker gold,
Mm.
but that's just
Oh.
me.
Oh, I
have to-
like that.
Do you
Mm.
like that?
Yeah, it's
Well,
very
I
pretty.
do.
I would leave it. Gorgeous.
It stands out very nice.
Thank you. Yeah, there's always more sweaters to do later.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, you can remove me now.
Okay, but I have a question for you.
I'm all pink. I get so I blush when I.
But
Right.
I still have to ask you a question.
Oh yes.
The neckline.
Yes.
The neckline is supposed to fit exactly the circumference that you say your neck circumference is when you make the pattern. Did you expand it so that it would fit looser than tight around your neck?
Yes. I have a choking thing. Like I can't stand anything touching my neck.
Right. So all you have to do is say your neck is bigger round than it
That's what
really
I did.
is. And then okay.
Yes.
Now, my question now goes to Sidra,
Mhm.
because I looked at your pattern, Sidra, and your neck circumference was put in as 13.5.
I did make it bigger from before.
But that's your neck is actually a circumference of something less than 13.5. When you
When I
measure
measure
your
it
neck.
like, when I measure it like you have us doing it.
Uh-huh. Yes. What is it?
No, it's actually 13.5.
That's why it was too tight for you.
Mm.
That's what you entered into your pattern. And so it made it
Right.
fit right up to your neck.
Okay.
I shouldn't have measured it that way. I should have measured it out to where.
Well, wherever you want it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how to say that in the pattern. I mean, it's too late when you see the pattern. And the website just says enter your neck circumference. I don't know if maybe I should purposely add some to the neck circumference so that but I
Yes.
like mine right up to my neck. So
Well, it's the thing. It's your preference.
it's like, it should say, enter the circumference of the neckline as you would like it when you wear it.
Yes,
Enter
yes.
your preferred. Just use the word preferred. Even if I had done it like Suzanne has you doing it, where you just drape your yarn down or whatever, straight
Right.
down,
No.
measure, it would still be the same, basically the same size.
Yeah, it would still calculate to a neck circumference that will fit it to your neck. So
Right.
you have to lie to the program and say, my neck circumference is not what it really is. It's really bigger. Now I have to figure out how that can be made clear to people using the website if they want a yoke sweater.
Right. It worked out when I did I did not do any decreases, just went down a needle size. So it worked
Yes.
out to have the neckline that I wanted.
I know you made it work out. You had
Yeah.
to modify the pattern. You didn't do the decreases and add. You didn't do all the decreases that the pattern called for.
the first time I did, and I couldn't even get it over my head.
Yeah, that's because well, it depends on how tight how tight was the cast off. I mean, the
Yes,
cast off has to be stretchy because if it's the size of my neck and the cast off is not stretchy, I can't get it over my head.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
You had to, I think you even said to do a every 3 or 4 stitches you decrease, or maybe I figured that out to get
no,
the
that's about right. Yeah, you decrease a lot. I mean, the pattern calls for a lot of decreases around that
right.
way.
It did.
And it's the number is calculated by how big around you said your neck was. And
Okay.
so that's why it was too small.
Yeah, Frank, I wonder if it might be just the difference in terminology between actual neck size and desired finished neck size.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
just use terms like that so that people realize that we don't want your actual neck size, but what do you want your final determined finished size to
And
be?
I suppose that could be true for any of the patterns, right?
Right.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is the only one that actually calculates the exact number of stitches to go around that size, because it's the only one that's knitted exactly around the neck. The others
Mhm.
estimate the actual width of it is wider than the depth in every case because of the construction of the sweater.
Oh,
Because of the
okay.
lengths.
Well, except for the scoop line neck, it's going to be deeper neckline than wide. But anyway, that's just a variation. Yeah, so maybe I should change the prompt to say circumference of the neckline you would like it to be. I don't know. Desired neckline circumference. Yes, that's desired neckline circumference. I can change the prompt to say that.
Well, in your patterns, you also give that suggestion of ease, tight fit, loose fit, really bigger fit. And maybe
Yes.
along those lines of saying on the neck, you also have this option here. Now, you may want a tighter fitting bodice, but a larger neck. Maybe that, I don't know.
Yes, I can't tie it to the ease
Yeah.
because they are unrelated, but it would be another prompt.
Well,
I think maybe if I
wouldn't,
no, I think if
you
I
wouldn't
just
want
put
to
it,
tie it to the east.
no, it's not tied to the ease. So
No, you wouldn't want to tie it to that.
I think it might be best to just change how I word the prompt for the neckline. So I'll do that. We'll see if that works. But so far, everybody who's knitting it has said that it is working for them.
Yes, yes. My problem is my gauge. I keep messing with my tension. So, and since the second version of the pattern you created, because there were a different number of stitches, I had to modify a bit the stitch pattern that I had planned.
Oh, right.
So maybe this changes the gauge also, but it's probably the way I'm trying to pay more attention to my knitting now because of this yarn and because I need to anyway. But I've tried it before I will block it, and it seems to fit fine. And I think it will be even better when I will wash it, block it. I'll send you a picture or show you
Excellent. Okay.
when I get there, but it seems okay. The neck is a little tight, so that's where I realized that probably my gauge is a little tight, but it does go over my head. I'll just be mindful of not creating decreases or too high of a neckband for this sweater, but it's okay.
Well,
it
you
will
could
work
adjust it
fine.
that way as well. Yes.
Yes, it's no problem. So I'm now working on the waistband, but I still have the sleeves to work, which I usually I don't work this way. Usually I work the sleeves before, but because I was not sure that it would sit okay, I was not sure that the yoke would fit okay. I decided to go all the way down to see if everything was okay, and it seems fine.
Oh, good. Good.
So
I probably scared one of Costco's customers to death. Young woman with a family was in front of me, and I spotted her sweater, and then I thought, well, that's a homemade sweater, and it had a yoke pattern on it. And so I stopped her and I said, "Did you happen to knit your sweater?" She said, "No, my grandmother gave it to me. She knit. She probably did." And it's got 12 sections of the yoke all the way around. And I asked her if she minded if I take her photo, which I did, from the back. And it's all one color, and they look like giant feathers actually when it
Oh.
comes down. And then she goes into kind of a ribbing underneath. So
Can
I
you
thought,
show
I
us the
said,
picture by any chance?
what I can do, I probably in future will be able to figure out how to do this, but I'm more than happy to put the picture up by the camera here and see if you can see it.
Okay, as long as it doesn't show her face. You said
No, it's her
we
back. I told
shouldn't
her,
show her face publicly, so.
right, I told her it would be her back, and I told her that she would be on a Zoom meeting, so.
Oh, good, you got permission. Great.
I did, absolutely did.
and what was her reaction? Was she
Sure, she said,
did she find
yeah. So let's see if you can see.
Oh,
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 yeah.
Oh,
wow.
look at that.
Look
Oh,
at
that's
that.
pretty.
Yes.
I thought that
Oh,
was really
wow.
pretty.
Oh,
Lace
Oh,
and
You go
all.
Meme, huh?
Is it lace or is it a color work?
I think I don't know.
It looks
I
like,
think it's not color work. It is lace. It is
Yeah, it
hard
looks like
there where it's
lace.
dark.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Good catch.
Mm.
Yeah. My son hollered, she said, and she really is going to be on a Zoom, a knitting Zoom. We're not stealing your card information or anything.
you can't buy that type of sweater at Costco.
No.
No. But I thought it was fun. I hope her grandmother, I felt like in speaking with her that her grandmother was probably still alive and she could
Mm,
share with her that
oh,
somebody enjoyed her sweater enough to take a photo.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question for you all.
yes.
I didn't have yarn this week to start on my next project. So I decided to look around at hats on Ravelry. And I came across one that turns out to be, I think, the most popular hat on Ravelry that is not free. That's what one person said about it. And it's called the Musselburgh hat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I
yeah,
thought
I've
if it
done
was
that
the
one.
most popular one, there'd be people here who knew about it.
Yeah.
I did it.
So what do you think of the Musselburgh hat?
I love it. I've
Have you-
made 3 of them, I think. I did
Ah.
2 of them as gifts, not this recent Christmas, but a year before that. And I think I made one for myself that's around here somewhere. But the way you do it is it's reversible. And
Yeah.
so if you change colors midway, then you have one hat that's reversible with one color on each side. So if you want it to be gray one day, you wear it on the gray side, or you flip it over and it can be red or whatever color you picked.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think Hold on a second.
I made one for my grandson, the younger one, and it turned out really, really great, and he loves it. And sometimes he wears it more kind of a slouchy one where he doesn't turn it up,
Uh-huh.
but makes it have more thing. And then other times he turns it up, and they do a lot of stuff over east in the mountains and stuff in the snow, and so he likes that it's the 2 layers.
I think this is the hat. I don't know.
It looks
So
like
it's,
I think it is. So you can it's not sewn together really at the top, and you can
no,
pull it out, and
Right,
it's like a
you
long,
pull 'em
yeah.
out, yep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep. Mhm.
is
So
that it?
it's really 2 hats with one tucked inside the other one.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, but
Okay.
you do it, you cast on and you knit, you change color in the middle, you keep knitting, and then
Yeah.
you decrease at the other end. So it's
Mhm.
like there's no, the inside is totally inside and you never see it, and the outside is totally outside,
But Frank,
Yeah.
and all seamless.
did you want to know if
looks
the
great.
pattern is worth it, or if it
No,
fits,
I already bought
or-
the pattern and I'm working on it.
I love
Okay.
it.
Okay.
But
It was
I
it was a
probably
fun
won't
hat to
finish
knit.
this for a long time because I will start working on things to publish. But I thought I should probably knit a hat pattern of some kind before I publish a hat pattern.
Yeah, I forget
Um,
where this, I got this. I think this is the one. Is that similar?
looks
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what it
it.
is. I'm
That's
pretty sure
that's
it
the
is.
Musselburgh hat. Yes,
It's
I
like
can tell
check
from the
this.
construction.
It's the husband's favorite hat. He wears it all the time.
Wow.
It happens to be really warm today, so he's not wearing a hat. I love it. I can't wait to make another one. Very easy.
I received an update from 10 Rows a Day, and she has got a hat very similar to this. It's called the Helsinki, HELSINKI hat and collar,
Oh,
and shows also, if you can see again on the phone.
wait.
Go
Let me-
down a little bit. There we go.
So
Oh,
that's showing it wrong
yeah.
side out.
Oh,
One
Wait,
by
wait.
one.
There we go here.
Oh, there you go.
yeah,
Oh,
there we
So,
are.
yeah, now we
Yeah.
can see. Mhm.
Mhm.
And
And it looks
it's
like a fisherman's rib.
is that now whether that's the same thing or not, I don't know, but it's very similar anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just love this. It was very fun. Couple days to knit it.
Mhm.
Very cute, easy to wear, change the colors, very warm.
Very
But
warm.
being in Massachusetts,
Mhm.
where last week, it's -10, and that's Fahrenheit. So whatever that is Celsius, it's cold. It's cold in Celsius too. Hey, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
Run.
We were talking about
Oh,
you
and Tim is there too. Hi, Tim.
last
Hi,
week.
Tim.
Your ears must have been ringing.
No, I was dead to the world.
Oh.
Oh, were you
My
sick
ears were
too?
ringing. I turned off notifications.
So I have another question about hats.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know you all have knitted a lot of hats, and I'm not that familiar with knitting hats. Are most hats, well, let me put it this way. The Musselburgh hat says the circumference of the hat is 20% less than the circumference of the head that's wearing it, so that it stretches when you pull it on. Is
Yes.
that normal for all hats?
10 to 20% negative ease.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is.
Okay.
It's just negative ease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have the negative ease, otherwise the hat's gonna be slouchy and be uncomfortable.
Right.
Unless you like a slouchy hat, in which case, if it's 20% negative ease, it will be tight and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like if
Right.
you have a lot of hair, you might want it bigger.
I'm sorry, Will, I didn't hear that. What?
You have a whole lot of hair,
Oh, okay,
Oh.
say it again, please. Bastard.
I don't have any hair on my head, but I still wear a 7 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
What
like a
does that
slouchy
mean?
hat?
It's a big
Yeah.
hat.
That's
It's
a
a hat
size.
size. It's a hat size.
Oh,
It's
That's
a
my
lot
hat
of head.
size.
But Will
I will-
has a good point because some people have very thick hair,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and curly hair, and they need a little more space.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Or even if you're gonna put your like a big ponytail up inside of it,
yeah,
you want it higher.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
A
maybe
lot of,
just
for a
you
beanie
need a
type
bigger
hat,
size.
that's a standard. I would expect 10 to
Mm.
20% ease. 20% is
Mm.
on the snugger side, certainly.
Yes.
Mhm.
Um,
But sometimes they're just 10%.
yeah.
What if you're not doing a
Yeah.
double layered hat that you also fold over?
That's why I thought 20% seems like quite a bit of negative.
seems like a
ease.
lot
Or
to me,
Ten
too.
is a
You're gonna
lot,
wind up
yeah.
with,
Yeah, that'd make it a little too tight, even for the bald guy. who's
Mhm.
Well,
teasing, but-
I calculated what the circumference was, and it was in fact 20% less than what
Well,
she
now-
said was the head size.
But is the Musselburgh, I'm trying to remember, is it a 1-1 rib or is it,
No, it's all
No.
stockinette from
it's
end.
all
Yes.
stockinette? Okay. yeah,
Stocking at the
okay.
whole thing.
I couldn't remember.
but there's a chance that she, how to put it, these are very common war knitting hats.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm,
Um,
It was.
she did not come up with this hat. It's and so they were used in the mid-century as like homeland domestic war knitting, and she may have based it on a pattern that was meant to be worn under gear.
Uh,
Like under a helmet.
Yeah, so it
mhm,
may be just
mm.
because it was taken from a style that was meant to be worn like under a helmet. It was a wartime garment that
Mhm. Mm.
I'm looking at my notes from when I knit the Musselburgh, and it said, took me a while to get the size just right. Started out with too many stitches, ripped back, ended up with 80 for a 5-year-old head size. Fit is now perfect. And I was using Cascade 220 Superwash Merino.
and 80 stitches fit on a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Gosh, a schmudia.
Not sure what you
I
just
don't know.
said, but
I don't
liked
know
it.
what that means. What that means, Ron.
That
Is
seems
that
like a
good or
lot
bad?
for a 5-year-old, so it must run rather tight.
I think it did. So anyway, he's now 8 and it still fits him.
Yeah. So Frank, I just followed the directions and did the gauge swatch and got the 20%. He loves the hat. It fits great.
Well, that's good
It's
to
very
know.
comfortable.
So it sounds like I mean, from what Ron says, 10 to 20% is probably
Yeah, it's pretty standard, I think.
standard. And I don't know what I'll do on mine. I'll try something.
This is
15.
Barocco, but it's the Cascade 220 equivalent of the Barocco.
I have learned something about the pattern that I can share with you. You know, we went back and forth 6 months ago about whether the pattern should be written with line by line instructions or more concise representation, where you say, do this every 4 lines, do this 5 times, do this 3 times, you know, that kind of thing. So I did it line by line, as you know, and everybody seems to like doing that. And I submitted it for publication. And I'm getting feedback that they they say that's not how patterns are published anymore. That years ago, patterns used to be like that, and now they aren't. And if I do any more yoke sweaters, I need to have the pattern read differently. I actually started learning about this from the tech editor yesterday, and Arinda just confirmed it in an email. So I'm thinking I will put I can write the pattern either way, I believe. And so I think I'll put an alternate way to display your pattern. So I
I'd
can
like
publish it in one form and then have a link for you to say, oh, would you prefer line by line instructions? Click here, you know, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Legason, the Squareopolis shawl,
That would
Give it
simplify the
both-
pattern a lot for beginners.
both options.
Yeah.
Oh, it had both options?
Yeah, so you like, and I followed the line by line because that's how patterns used to be written, and I'm old.
Ah,
And I don't like the
I
chart on his shawl.
I deeply miss the telegraphic block because I can just commit that to memory and take my sweater with me wherever without having to like make tick boxes. So I haven't cried about this line by line instruction, but it does hurt my feelings.
That's, wait, hold it up again. That's my pattern. Yes.
Yes, it is.
And it's line by line.
It's line
So-
by line.
So how would you handle it if it was written the other way? Would you have a different piece of paper where you would mark what you were doing, or
I've made enough Phrancos that I just commit it to memory.
no, this is more complicated, as you see. I mean, it's not, it's the yoke, even the yoke is doing that. And the number
What
of,
do you
and the decreases down the front and the, there's lots of different, in the
No, I see
standard,
that.
in the standard pattern, there's the cap, the sleeve cap that can either
No.
be line by line or can be
No,
written
I think
more
if it's a-
concisely.
if it
But
were just another
but
box
here
of
it's
at the
that
same
plus
time.
the yoke plus the body, all three are written line by line, and there are three different sections that could be written more concisely.
I think just another at the same time box.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and at the same time, decrease at the sleeve caps every fifth row or whatever.
So my question for you is, how do you track where you are when you're knitting even the sleeve caps on a sweater?
Might not be a good answer to this question, but I look I look at my knitting.
And oh, so when it says increase every third row 5 times,
Yeah.
you
Okay,
look at your knitting to see, oh, there's where I started and I count, and this is the 4th time.
So like in my yoke sweater here, I haven't used any of my bands because I've got line by line instructions.
Uh-huh.
Normally the sleeve cap would be full of bands. They know.
Oh, I see. Rubber bands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
There's
I
not
do
here
that
because
too.
it's line by line instructions.
Right. I
But-
understand.
Yeah, and I was just like, okay. Then I put a blue
So-
band on for decreases and a pink band on for increases, and
Uh-huh.
but
Well, I
recognize
usually have
that's-
a piece of paper and I put a mark on what row I'm working on, and
that makes sense.
it's not too hard for me either. But when we discussed it, everyone said, "Oh, it'd be so much better to just know on every row what you're supposed to do." And also, I think if you use Knit Companion, doesn't it work better if it's line by line? Is that true? Because it will keep track of what line.
I can keep track easily line by line on Knit Companion,
There's a little reader.
but I can also keep track of your at the same time on Knit Companion.
Oh, I see. So it isn't a requirement for Knit Companion. Okay.
No, because you have multiple ways to track your progress.
Okay. Well, looks like I've got some programming work to do to make this an option that you can choose.
Well,
So
Have you
you'll be
ever seen
happy,
a Coco
Ron.
knit?
I will be happy. not that the line by line instructions were bad. It's just not the way I generally work.
Right.
So it's like
Tim,
unfamiliar.
you had said something about something would be easier for beginners, which way do you feel like is
Oh, I said the
easier for
line by line
beginners?
would be easier for beginners.
Line by line is easier for that. Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking.
But while I'm here, oh, I'm gone.
Oh, you're gone. I'll bring you back.
While I was here, I was going to show you my yoke.
Ah,
Nice.
There it is.
Mm.
Oh,
So
Oh,
this is, are you looking at the back or the front? You're looking at the front. So you can see the front of this black part dips down a bit because of the short rows.
wait.
See there?
Oh,
And then,
So is that black and lavender?
yes, it's both tweeds, but black and this sort of dusty pink color. It's not very true because of the lighting in here. But
It just looks like lavender to me, but
yeah,
Did
yeah.
you put a raised edge there at the end of the black moving into the lavender?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
is that reverse
So
stock?
welt, a little bit of reverse stockinette for a few rows.
Looks
Yeah.
is
nice.
that all it is?
Pretty.
How
Yep.
did you do that?
Just purled.
And did you do something to make it raise up, or just the pearls did it?
Yep, just the pearls did it. It's unblocked right now.
Oh,
so
I see. So it'll
it's
lie flatter when
showing more than it will when it's
I
blocked.
see. Yeah. Okay.
And then now I
Good.
know, because it's got a big old neck hole right now. Hello,
Right.
everyone. So when it comes to it, I won't take this all the way down to my neck size because I will suffocate.
Yeah. Were you here earlier in the meeting when we were talking?
I was,
neck
yeah.
size?
So I'll
Okay.
just, what I'll probably wind up doing is putting on a, just like a 3-rolled pearl neck band that's the same as this. Just the other edge of the little collar.
Uh-huh.
It's meant to be evocative of like a little.
Mhm.
Right.
So Ron, will you be doing neck size or will you be doing beard size?
I've recently sheared down to an inch,
Yes.
grow back, and then it goes back and forth. But no, I mean, I've got a big old head, but my that's why I usually make a cardigan for myself, or a V-neck. But here's my yoke. So it's coming along nicely. No real tricks in mind, just those short rows on the front, and they all seem to have worked out. The shape is correct, even with that weird design element in it.
Oh, good.
Now I'll leave.
Okay. Bye-bye.
So
hint, hint.
I have a question and a change of, like, I changed my strategy on my waistcoat.
Okay.
So I'm doing this
Ooh,
waistcoat,
nice.
So
right? And it's Fair Isle, thank you, right? Now the back, I'm doing parallel floats, but then on the 2 rows that the floats are long, I'm doing rotating floats.
What floats?
Just rotating floats, I'm just turning it so that they don't hang. So you notice there's no hanging floats, right? Those floats are all pretty much done in. So I just,
What do you mean rotating floats? I don't know. Is that a new
So-
technique we haven't talked about?
I'm taking the yarn and I'm just turning it over rather than locking the float in. I'm just taking it and wrapping it in kind of by one stitch. And it's keeping the tension good and it's making the float so that it doesn't leave a loop.
so you're just
I'm
like
just-
twisting the yarns around each other?
Yep, just turning the yarns around each other and then just kind of rotate them around.
Oh,
But that's only on 1 row. The rest of the rows are parallel floats.
Meaning just
Right.
no,
Just keeping the left yarn under the right yarn over. And that's because this is not in the round, and this is kind of where my question is if someone's done Fair Isle flat, not in the round, which first time for everything. Holding on the pearl side, the 2 yarns took, wow, am I struggling? That's kind of slow. How do people manage the 2 yarns on the pearl side? Because it's impossible for me to have them in 2 different hands. On the knit side, it's very easy to knit with 2 different hands. Continental with the primary color and flicking with the background color.
Right.
On the pearl side, I can't do that.
Why?
But it's an act of God.
Is it because purling a continental is so difficult? Is that
I am finding it even difficult to hold the yarn to purl Norwegian.
yeah.
I can't do it either, Sumner. I have to hold them both. That's when I started doing it in both yarns in one hand. But Jenny has a little gizmo that keeps the yarn separated that her husband made for her. I don't know if she's here today.
No,
She
she's not.
isn't here. I have this kind of ring that you put on your finger and it keeps the yarn separate, but it turns my finger blue.
Yeah.
But it turns my finger blue.
It's too tight.
No, not happening.
Use
I tried
clear fingernail. Use clear fingernail polish on it, and then it won't turn your finger blue. Just put clear fingernail polish on the ring. It seals it.
Is it?
No.
Oh no, it's
Well-
restricting the blood flow.
Oh no! I meant I thought you were saying that the metal was.
No, it's restricting the blood flow.
Sorry. Okay, I take that back.
Yeah.
Nail polish
His
won't
finger's
help.
turning blue for a different reason.
Yeah,
I'll be amputating the digit.
they don't make those little knitting gizmos for
bigger
large
hands.
hands most of the time.
So, but it's coming out beautiful.
Great.
I love
We
that.
agree.
Very pretty.
That's
Thank you.
very, very beautiful.
So
Yes.
amazing. I love the ribbing on the bottom.
It's awesome.
Very nice.
Oh, yes.
It reminds me of those African blanket. things.
Yeah, it almost looks that
Those are
it
the
does. It
things.
almost, but
I don't know.
I'm so happy with this because I'm learning so much more. I always want to do a project that I haven't done something. I'm learning something. I'm learning a little too much on this one, but
Patience, learning patience.
yeah, I just didn't know how people manage the yarn going on the pearl side where so I'm kind of turning it almost like I'm doing a long tail cast on, right? Like this. But I don't know, just
Might
struggling.
be
with it.
unhelpful if it's a technique you don't already practice occasionally, but when I have to knit stranded flat or like corrugated ribbing flat or something, I knit with my right hand in my right hand, just a standard right-handed purl, and purl with my left hand Portuguese.
Oh, that's good.
It puts it on the left,
Oh, that's good.
and it's a fast, easy purl gesture.
Okay,
If you can
I-
do it already,
I can do
or if
the
it's easy to
Portuguese.
learn, but that is, it keeps them separated nicely. The tension is easier to manage than, like, your knit tensions might be quite similar knitting
That's like
in the left-handed run right-handed styles, but I think any given knitter is probably going to have pretty different right-handed versus left-handed purls, since they almost certainly do one much more than the other.
right. I'll bring out the Portuguese because I have a dual Portuguese knitting
Oh yeah,
pendant. I'll do that.
and then for
I
the
didn't
yarn
even
dominance,
think of
it's
it.
just
I don't
it's
know
the
why.
left one, so it works out. You just make your dominant color the one you're working Portuguese,
I could work both Portuguese.
or you can work both Portuguese.
Yeah, we'll see. That's a good idea. Thank you. That's why I asked. So helpful.
I fully admit that that's either a helpful idea or a great, I'll just learn another way to knit idea.
Yes. I did work
Well, I
on
know
a
how to
flat
do that
swatch this week that was two color to practice my ladderback jacquard. And every row, every purl row was just a pain to me for exactly that reason. I do keep the yarns in each hand, right hand and left hand, but I found I just can't purl with my left hand holding the yarn. It just, so I found a
Where
way
I
to
am.
hold the yarn between my fingers and carefully wrap it and then purl it through every time I had to do the purl stitch. I can't even, I wouldn't show you how to do it because I don't recommend doing it that way anyway. It was painfully slow, but it was all I could figure out to do. I'm just never gonna put color work that it has to be done on the purl side. I can't do it.
Yeah, that flat color work is like, it's killing me because I've not done flat color work like this, you know?
Yeah.
But that Rowan, because Martin's story for Rowan, they do a lot of pieced sweaters. They don't do a lot of sweaters in the round. Most everything is pieced.
Peace, yeah.
What is it?
So this is a Martin story pattern from
Oh,
Rowan.
okay. I
Yeah.
thought you said
This is-
Rowan and Martin, which you did, but not as in laughing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a new knitting comedy team.
I love it.
Yeah.
But no, this is a Martin story.
Okay, okay. I was very, very confused.
Red sparkle cardigan. I think I'm dating myself.
I thought it was like a memorial knitting thing you were doing.
Yeah, no. Well, and I'm going to learn how to do a button placard on a pieced sweater.
And apparently the world will too, since you keep doing it on Zoom. So everybody will.
Come on for the ride.
Thank you so much.
So let's take a few minutes to show our work. Who's got something to show us?
I do.
Good.
Who said that? Sidra?
Yeah.
All right.
So I found a pattern and it was on a Zoom thing, but it's a plan pooling.
Why can't I spotlight you?
I don't know.
Solve my Zoom problem. Jeez. I can't
Try
spotlight
holding it in your
anybody
left
now.
hand.
I got you.
There you go.
I can't spotlight you.
Do, 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 do. Do, do, do,
Oh,
do,
it's Starfall
do, do.
is a pattern name,
Oh,
and they
I wish
spell
I
it
could-
with stars.
That's so neat.
That's
it
nice.
looks great.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
dark,
plan
so it's hard to
pooling.
see.
So that's what I've been working on since I can't work on my sweater right now. Waiting for my yarn to come.
Ah.
Which should be here Wednesday.
I click on the three dots and it doesn't produce a menu. I don't know what to
Oh.
do.
Is somebody else, can somebody else be the
Oh.
host for a moment?
Oh, I know what speaker view works. Maybe if I go back to gallery view, it changes. Ah, there it is. Great.
Ta-da.
Show us again.
There you go.
Much better view.
Oh,
Nice.
there you go.
Wow.
Wow.
That's nice.
And you call it planned pooling?
Yeah, plan pooling. So the way the
Mhm.
yarn is dyed. It's from Yarn Snob. I love his yarn. It's amazing. It's the same yarn that Cindy's using on her kimono.
Oh,
That's but it's actually, even working in black, it's been a breeze to work with. But
Awesome. Is it a cow?
I've been working on it, watching TV, so all of a sudden you find yourself going, oh, I'm into my colors. I need to take that out and do a star. Or I don't like how the stars are, so I'll just keep on knitting it, you know. So I'm in the lace part of it now. It's almost done. So.
Yeah.
So
Lovely.
as
Go
you're
ahead.
every time you come to the color section, you do a certain stitch pattern?
Yeah, you're gonna do a star. So you knit you do a knit and wrap it 3 times. And then when you come back around it, you unwrap it and then stitch that, and then you just keep on going around.
That is so clever.
So you're pointing out your color change. That's really neat.
Yeah.
Someone in my guild had a shawl that they did. It was called Cherry Blossoms, and it was gorgeous. It had sort of like a misty green background with like a little bit of a black fleck, but then it had pink. And so whenever you got to the pink, you made that, and literally it looked like a painting of cherry blossoms from a Japanese painting. It was beautiful.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Wow.
amazing. People are something.
Well, I've got you spotlighted. What are you working on, Nancy?
Oh, another cardigan, of course. This time, I'm working with, what's the yarn? Rama Findle yarn.
Oh,
And so it's another homage to a fishing Gansey. So it has, you can see how it has this little textured pattern in it. So it's just more of what I showed maybe a couple months ago when I was on last. So I liked this when I did this with my other sweater, and for me it sets my shoulders off really nicely with this. So I started with a stockinette, and the sleeves will be stockinette. The body has this type of, it's just knits and a stockinette and garter stitch alternating. So that's going to go down to, maybe about here. Then I'll do a plain band again, and then I'll pick up a portion of this in a stripe. I'm not sure which one yet, and do that to finish off a band at the bottom, and do the same thing right before the cuff.
very
So,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very
Is that
nice.
a pattern or your own?
Well, it's the Phrancko pattern, but then it's, I look through my big books, pattern stitches, and go, oh, that looks good. I think I want to do a textured one this time instead of something else. So I did a sample test swatch of the yarn, and I thought that really looks sharp. So that's what I went with. So
Beautiful.
since I'm spotlighted, are you guys familiar with The Knitter magazine? It's
I
a
have a
British.
few, yes, from London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it at Barnes and Noble near me, but I just wanted to share. I just got this one last night, and all of a sudden I turned the page and I went, that could be a Phrancko. Look at that. Look at that patterning.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
Nice.
beautiful.
Great.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just looked at it. It's slip stitches with a color changing yarn. So I'm like, ooh, that looks good. It called for Rowan felted tweed, which I also happen to have a buttload of. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah.
That's what I'm working on, this
Yeah.
Rowan and
felted
Martin
So
felted
okay,
tweed.
so that's me, the end.
all right.
tweed. That's great.
Someone else want to share? We
Well,
only
I
have a
guess I
few
can
minutes
show
left.
you
Yes.
Kathy's new pattern.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
her.
look.
I'm so proud of Kathy for creating this all over lace cardigan that she's going to do for spring. It's about 80% complete. It has sleeves, so
Oh,
and we'll also
Oh,
do a
nice.
knit along. So isn't it pretty
Oh,
though?
Yes,
That's
So I'm
beautiful.
doing
Very
the
pretty.
sample knit for her, and it's just lovely.
Yes.
Will
That
it
looks
have
like-
closures of any kind?
Sorry, what, Nancy?
I was just wondering, will it have closures of any kind?
Oh, yeah. I usually do the button band and the collar myself after Serena knits because I don't visualize that part of it very well until it's complete. And then if I don't like it, I can rip it out and redo.
Mhm.
So it will, yes.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, this
It really is.
part is the peplum, this bottom part. So you put a provisional cast on here, and then you knit the peplum last.
Oh.
That peplum pattern is from the Japanese Bible. I forget the name of the book. Japanese knitting Bible or something like that.
Oh,
Anyway,
Mhm.
it's the
There-
white book with all the gorgeous knitting patterns in it.
Hitomi Shida.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, and I'll be making a little YouTube video for her that will demonstrate a couple of techniques I use when I'm knitting lace to get ready for bind offs and so forth. So
Good.
be looking for that if you're interested in to then knit along.
oh, that sounds interesting.
Kathy, what's the recommended yarns?
That's a sport weight. I did one in fingering. Of course, the fingering weight that I did it in, well, actually, Serena and I both worked on that one, and it's discontinued. So this is a sport weight. So fingering or sport.
Okay.
Because it doesn't take that much yarn with all that lace.
No, it's a quite
quick
a
knit.
fast knit. I think that lace can be sometimes difficult to read, especially the top portion. So you have to still be careful and not get too, you can't get in the groove too much, because then you'll get your rows 1 and 3 messed up. So, and you won't get that lovely zigzag in there. But otherwise, it's very quick.
I have a question. I don't know if it's going to be quick enough, though. Shall I ask, Frank?
Sure, go right ahead.
I am
I'm trying
about a
to. I'm trying
about
to.
a
Yeah, just a second. I'm trying to figure out how to go back to gallery view. Boy, I'm really having trouble there. Okay.
So
All right.
I am just a couple of rows away from dividing up the sleeves, and I guess dividing is the right word. And it makes me I look at it and I think, I wonder if this is like 40 or even more percent of this entire thing being completed when you get to this stage. What do you think? Since you've got so much of the sleeves on each side, and we're down to the armpits,
Uh-huh.
I just think it's kind of a congratulatory spot. You could say you are now about 40, 45, 50% of your way home.
Well, I'll tell you how I think of it is, oh, finally I can just knit.
Right.
You're no longer doing things every 2-3 rows, and well, you have to pay attention to the sleeves, the increase every
Yeah.
number of rows, but that's easy. It's the same most of the way down.
Yeah, it's constant.
And then the body is just straight knitting. And so I always think of it as, oh, I can finally relax and just knit. So
Yeah.
it's that kind of a milestone.
Yeah, it is definitely a Yahoo moment.
Yeah.
It is. All of the hard part of the sweater is from the armpit to the collar.
Yep.
Somebody else want to show us something? The last couple of minutes?
Don't be shy.
go-
If I can
I'll-
do it, you can.
Okay, I'll go real fast. I'm just a little more than halfway done with the front of the level 2 vest.
Excellent.
Oh, all right.
Ta-da!
Ooh.
And the
Ah,
back's
there you
all
go.
done and blocked, and so this is the front. So
And because
getting
it's a
there.
vest, so
I
you
know
don't have
there's no
sleeves.
sleeves. It's like, yay! I have to just sew it up, and it's going to have a little V-neck here, so that'll even make the front go faster, because it's like, you don't have to do all this part in here. You have a V. So going to do that, and then you pick up the little bit of ribbing around the sleeve. So I'm making progress.
Oh, congratulations.
Yay.
Very good.
Thank you.
There is a knit along that started the January 1st, and they called it knit a vest, give the sleeves a rest.
Cute.
I think it's
That
is
is
good.
so cute.
it is.
Hmm.
Well, I think for yarn wise, a lot of times aren't the sleeves even like about a third of the total weight for a sweater?
At least.
Mhm.
So it's a lot. So I'm thinking it's like, oh, I have a lot less to do. Yay, I'll get done.
Well, that's about it for another week, I think. And it's been really great to see you all again.
It was.
Same here.
So have a nice week, and we'll see you in 7 days.
All right.
Bye,
Take care.
everyone.
Have a nice
Bye-bye.
night.
Everyone.
Bye-bye.
Adios.